Have you ever felt like you were afraid of God? Well, maybe you should be. So many times when people these days encounter passages in the Bible that talk about the fear of God, they try to downplay it or explain it away. Like God is so loving and he's just so nice that there would never be any reason for somebody to be afraid of God. But we have to have an accurate understanding of who God really is, and not just the love of God, but the whole essence of God. And God is the kind of being that we as sinful human beings ought to be afraid of. And to some extent that changes when you become a Christian, because you're adopted into the family of God. Jesus satisfies the wrath of God against us for our sins. And yet, even though all of that changes, God doesn't change, and we should still be afraid. Take, for example, Philippians 2, where Paul says this, verse 12. Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Let me say that again. As you have always obeyed, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Not work for your salvation, but work out your salvation. Your motivation for your obedience should, or your attitude of obedience should include fear and trembling. This has been a revolution for me in my own understanding of the Christian life over the past few years. We as Christians need to genuinely be afraid of God. And we need to be afraid not of God's punishment, because we know that Christ took that for us, but we need to be afraid at least of the discipline of God in our lives. Hebrews warns us that God will discipline us, and his discipline will be painful. So in your own obedience of God, let fear in a good way be a properly motivating factor.